Premier League is back for the 2021 to 2022 season. But most importantly, Leicester return back to league action tomorrow as we host Thomas Frank's Brentford at the King Power on Sunday. Today, I'll be breaking down Leicester's opening league game of the season, looking at a potential starting lineup for Leicester and how the game could potentially be won and lost. So join me today, boys and girls, in the first match preview of the new season. Here we go. Yes, that's how you all doing. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. The Premier League is back. As you'll know, beautiful scenes. But yeah, boys, today you're here for the first match preview of the new Premier League season as we look ahead to Leicester versus Brentford. But yeah, before we go on to discuss all of that, drop a like on today's video. It does massively help the channel out. Also, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already for some consistent Leicester content. And as always, most importantly, let me know your thoughts ahead of the game in the comment section down below. Your lineups, your score predictions, what are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comment section down below. Right then, kicking things off then, as I said, predicting the lineup is a thing we're going to start with. Obviously, yesterday on the channel, I did upload an in-depth video talking Leicester tactics, Leicester formations, how Leicester could potentially start the season really. So yeah, make sure you go and watch that video. Obviously, there'll be a link in the description, or you could just find it on the channel as normal. So the formation I'll be going with for tomorrow's game is going to be the 4-1-2-1-2 formation. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. As you can see in the midfield, yeah, I've got that diamond shape with two strikers up front, which is key, and obviously sticking with that standard back four. Ignore some of the players on this predicted lineup right here. That is just obviously a standard formation. Talking of my predicted lineup then, let's get straight into it. In goal then, obviously here it would usually be Kasper Schmeichel, but now a toss up between Danny Ward and Dan Leverson. So for me, I'll be going with Danny Ward, but it could well easily be Danny Leverson. Right back, Timothy Castagne. I think this is pretty much nailed on following Ricardo's 6-month injury. Centre-back partnership, I'm going to be going with Fofana and Johnny Evans. I think them two are the best centre-backs we currently have at the club. Left-back, I'll be going with James Justin. Obviously, Luke Thomas is an option, but yeah, that back four is looking fairly balanced and strong. Into that diamond then, in the midfield four, Wilfred Ndidi towards the bottom of it. Obviously, a key man in the side. It's going to be great to have Wolf back in the team. The two box-to-box ones in that double pivot, Keenan Dewsbury and Yuri Tillemans. In the cam, I'll be going with James Madison in behind those two strikers where he's most dangerous, obviously scoring 2 against the Bees last year. And of course, up top, those two strikers here going to be Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. This could well easily be Patson Dako. I think Iheanacho and Vardy do complement each other quite nicely. So there we go. So that is a side which I think Brendan Rodgers potentially could go with tomorrow. It's a bit of an out there formation, but it's a formation I think Leicester should potentially go with. Obviously this year, remember, Leicester have 5 subs to make. Obviously every club has 5 subs to make. So if it's not working, we can easily switch it around and completely change the formation. I think Brentford will be playing the 4-3-3 formation. We'll speak a bit more about the Bees later on in the video. So Leicester could potentially go with that formation just to match it up. However though, of course, Leicester are really struggling in the winger department right now with Barnes out injured for 2 weeks. Missing the game, and that leaves us really with Marco Brighton and Jose Perez, which no disrespect to them, I don't really want to see them start the first game. So this could be a potential option for Brendan Rodgers to fit in those slots. Obviously midfielder wise, we do have a lot of depth in there. Obviously Boubacar Samora can do the job. Dennis Pratt looks like he will be sent at Leicester. And then obviously holding, we've got Mendy, Hamza Ozal, and of course in the camera Jose Perez can play there as well. We could potentially go with a back 5/back 3 formation, but tomorrow the formation is going to be very interesting because Brendan Rodgers has a bit of an issue with that winger department. I think the midfield battle is going to be vital in tomorrow's game. Obviously, Brentford have lost Christian Eriksen, which is a massive miss, but they've still got some quality in there with the likes of Norgard, who got the most tackles, I believe, last year in the Premier League. Leicester can if you can pack that out with 4 midfielder players against potential 3 for Brentford, that could be huge for Leicester. Despite that, though, this formation is obviously very narrow, the 4-1-2-1-2. It lacks quite a lot of width, and if Brentford are playing that 4-3-3, it could cause us problems in that fullback position where Castagne and Justin may potentially get doubled up on. Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy up top could also be deadly. Obviously Iheanacho coming a bit deeper, getting that ball to feet, Vardy spinning in behind it. If you combine that with the likes of James Madison, Yuri Tillemans, the drive and determination of Keenan Dewsbury, it could cause Brentford a lot of issues. And obviously you have got the 2 fullbacks providing that width, but Castagne and Justin, if this formation is played, are going to have to get through a lot of work in the game. And overall on paper that team is still very strong, and if Leicester go with that team on paper, we should be beating Brentford. Right, boys and girls, that's it for my predicted lineup then for the game. Let's quickly move on and discuss our opposition in Thomas Frank's Brentford. Now, Brentford, obviously a newly promoted side last year in the Premier League, did very well in their first season, coming in 13th place. It has been a very up and down pre-season though for Brentford so far, with a 2-0 win against Boreham Wood, a 2-1 loss against Stuttgart, a 2-2 draw against Strasbourg, a 4-0 loss against Wolfsburg, and 1 of the wins against Brighton and Real Betis in their recent pre-season games. Despite losing Christian Eriksen Ericsson, Brentford have strengthened heavily in defence with Aaron Hickey joining the Bees, as well as experienced defender Ben Mee. It also looks like they'll be signing Damsgaard as a potential Christian Eriksen replacement, but I don't think he'll be ready for the game on Sunday. In Brentford's final pre-season game, they did go with a 4-3-3 formation. As you can see from here, then David Raya in goal at right back, Rico Henry, centre backs Ben Mee and Pontus Jansson, with Hickey at left back, Matthias Jensen, Christian Norgard and Vitaly Yarnow in midfield, and that front three of Wissa, Ivan Toney and Brian Mbeumo. So still on paper a fairly solid side, which obviously could cause Leicester quite a few problems, especially if you look towards attack. Obviously Toney and Mbeumo, who could definitely cause Leicester a few issues as well. In David Raya, a fantastic goalkeeper, and defensively the Bees are looking very strong as well this season. Of course, it was a fantastic debut season for Brentford last time out under Thomas Frank. Obviously this year, could we see a bit of second season syndrome? Some people are predicting that, but personally I think Brentford will do alright and they'll probably come around the same position as well. But it could be a challenging season for Brentford this year. Obviously losing Christian Eriksen is of course undoubtedly a massive miss. But yeah, tactically it's going to be key. I think the tactical battle between Brendan Rodgers and Thomas Frank is going to be vital in this game. Obviously two very good managers as well. As we can see from that formation, Brentford with that 4-3-3, and of course wingers out wide with Hickey on one side, you got Rico Henry on the other. That could cause Leicester a few problems, obviously, if we go with the 4-1-2-1-2-1-2 formation, which I mentioned earlier on. Moving things on then, it's now time to look at some key headlines then from both Brendan Rodgers and Thomas Frank's press conference ahead of the game. I've got some injury news on Leicester's sake and some thoughts from Thomas Frank ahead of the new season. So yeah, some injury news, obviously, which we did mention in yesterday's video. Obviously, Ricardo Pereira is out for 6 months after rupturing his Achilles. And some further injury news, obviously, Harvey Barnes will be out for a couple more weeks with a knee injury. Of course, that provides big repercussions on the potential starting lineup, and that is the main reason why I have opted with the 4-1-2-1-2 formation. And some more news which has quite a bit of relevance to the game, of course, replacing Kasper Schmeichel. Brendan Rodgers has confirmed that the new club captain will be Johnny Evans. No decision has been made on the new vice captain yet. So yeah, there are the main headlines then from Brendan Rodgers' pre-match press conference. Not too much about the game, as Brendan was more asked about the transfer situation, which obviously we have gone over in previous videos. Of course, right now Fofana is still in the midst of Chelsea. A bid's going to come in for a very high value right now. But yeah, of course, the main news, Ricardo Barnes will be missing for Leicester for this game. Looking then at the latest from Brentford heading into our second season, it's very important for us that we are an asset to the Premier League. We are very aware we are a small club, probably still in the bottom two budgets. We have a good team and a good squad and a good culture. I know there is a risk of relegation, but I'm a positive man. I'm always looking up. I have a strong belief that we can do better than last year, but this is the Premier League and the margins are so small. We will do our very best to attack. And a bit on Leicester then, we are facing a very good team. Maddison, Tielemans, Vardy and Barnes are 4 top Premier League players. We need to be aware of them. If they have a fit and available squad, they'll be able to push for the top of the league. So there we go. Big up to Thomas Franks for his very nice message towards Leicester, but hopefully, of course, we can get the 3 points tomorrow. So yeah, Brentford, no real injury concerns for them. They're looking strong for this season. Expecting a tough one, but Thomas Frank does believe that Brentford can do even better than last year. Moving things on then, let's quickly look at some stats then between Leicester and Brentford ahead of the season opener. This is the first time that Leicester will begin a league campaign against Brentford, with the Foxes unbeaten in their last 6 meetings against the Bees, winning 5 and drawing 1 since a 3-2 defeat at home in March in 1953 in the second tier. Brentford lost both Premier League fixtures against Leicester last season, both by a scoreline of 2-1. The Bees had previously never lost a top flight game against the Foxes coming into the 2021-22 campaign, winning 2 and drawing 2. So there we go, some interesting stats there between Leicester and Brentford. As we know, Leicester have a very good record against Brentford, and hopefully that can continue. We haven't lost since 1953. But yeah, wrapping things up then with the main event, the score prediction for the game tomorrow. As always, boys and girls, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for Leicester versus Brentford tomorrow? Can Leicester kick off with a winning start? For me, I think we can. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win as we did last season twice. I think, you know, it's going to be a tough game. It could really go either way. I don't really know what to expect. But yeah, for me, a 2-1 win tomorrow for Leicester is what I'm going to go with. I think James Maddison is going to score once again against the Bees, and I reckon Johnny Evans is going to bag from a corner as well. And for Brentford, I think Toney is going to score a late consolation goal as well, just to make it a bit shaky towards the end. So yeah, 2-1 win tomorrow for Leicester. I reckon we can do it, and you know, as long as Leicester can pick up a win tomorrow, I'll be more than happy, because a win on opening day is key in my opinion. So again, boys and girls, that's it for today's video. Of course, in today's video, we return back with the match previews on the channel, as we previewed Leicester versus Brentford in our opening match of the new season. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you guys do go down below and drop a like. Subscribe as well to the channel if you guys haven't already, like I said, for consistent Leicester content across the course of the season. Most importantly, let me know your thoughts ahead of the game in the comment section down below. Follow me on my social medias as well, links in the description down below. I'll be here with a matchday vlog tomorrow for the first game. I'm looking forward to getting back down to the King Power Stadium, boys and girls. And yeah, I'm in Sportsa, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Peace, guys.